about creation, I'm swinging on anyone who was even a part of that, because that was the scariest fucking movie. These are one of the only times where I'm happy that Hollywood is racist, because it had 4 white girls, a Latina nun, and it had a little black girl in the orphanage. So all these little girls in the orphanage, they live in this house, and Annabelle the doll is discovered and starts all these scary happenings. And it kept it real as fuck. The black girl barely had any lines. She popped up in like these little inopportune scenes, and then when the hauntings happened, she kept it real as fuck and she got the fuck out of there. Lisa can't get no dick, Lord. Molly can't keep no dick, Lord. And Lawrence ain't been using that dick, Lord. Hey everyone, it's JustLatasha, of course, the ghetto dork, the hood spirit, and of course, Miss Broken Bougie. And this is another review of Insecure, episode 6. We are moving along. I think they said there's only 2 episodes left. And this is hella blows with everybody. Everybody's taking L's. Please make sure before we even get started today, you guys subscribe, you turn on your notifications so you are notified when I upload new videos. And check out my new podcast with my girl Amanda Berry. It is called Fuck It, It's a Podcast. And I'm putting all the links down in the description box. Follow the podcast, subscribe, listen. We got some good stuff happening over there. Now let's get into these L's. Forgive me if I go a little fast or I'm getting a little skimmish. I am losing light. It's the end of the day, and of course I'm tired, okay? I just wrapped the last episode of filming my comedy web series Sit Black and Relax, which is coming to you guys for next to nothing. And I've been working, okay? Which bitch you know made $1 million off a mixtape? I am a vlogger, a writer, director, producer. I be on my podcast. I be doing the web series, post-production, pre-production, production. I be doing so much. Okay, I'm not playing games with this industry. I'm not playing games. I'm coming for the head. I'm trying to take the top spot, and I'm doing it all. I got the same 25 hours Beyonce got. Hello? Alright, so let's get into it. Let's start with Lawrence, and then we're going to get into Molly, and we're going to finish off, no pun intended, with Issa. So Lawrence opening up. I'm so happy that the creators of Insecure are giving him a smaller and smaller part. Like, no shade to Jay Ellis. Like, he's fine. He's an amazing talent. He's cool. But it's really about, like, Issa and Molly, and I really like the lead of 2 dark-skinned black women. It just means so much to me. Dating, being thotties, being hoes, being confused. I like all of that. And they squeezing Lawrence in when they can. Poor baby. He'll get more time when he makes the right decision and gets back with Issa. But for now, he is alone. And we open up with him presenting his big idea. This is the big idea that kept him on that couch for 2 years. The big idea he'd been working on, thinking about before he actually started moving his feet, causing Issa to have that wandering eye. I'm not blaming him, but I'm blaming him. And this idea is called Woo Woo. So he does his presentation, and it sucks. But his coworkers lie about it. And they give a big applause, and they give compliments, and they talk about his sneakers, and he got this big head because he thinks it went well. I have never been in this position. Supposedly that was a red flag to anyone who has presented and they don't get any feedback, no critique, and that means, you know, that fake light applause and they move on. That means like you're uninterested. So I learned something today about pitching. Thank you, Issa. I had no idea. And his ass got humbled real quick when his coworker was like, they wasn't into you. They didn't engage. They didn't want to know any more about your project. And it's outdated. I thought that was pretty interesting for the tech industry because it is always moving that fast. As soon as you build something, it's already old by the time it releases to the public. They're already either updating it, innovating it, or developing something new and better altogether while we're just getting it in our hands. So to think that this was his idea, if he does work in tech and he's been sitting on it for 2 years, Lawrence should have known that he should have been keeping up with the Joneses and the movement of the industry and being like, how do I keep up with my competitors and how do I make this happen? He just presented something that's 2 years old. So that was weird. And it seems like he's got a new love interest. And I knew it because the coworkers were way too flirty. I didn't know if it was going to be the brown one or the white one, but it was the brown one. I'm always down for an interracial relationship. I don't know. Go for it. And she said something real slick. She was like, you gotta let go of something old so you can make room for something better. This whole layered conversation is real cute. Obviously, let go of that old shit, Lawrence. Let go of Issa, that relationship. Something new is here. That cute little brown booty, same. In the office, something new might be cute. Lawrence relationship 2.0. Get it? Get it. What I did also want to take note of was this whole, I don't even know whether to call it white allies, but really Lawrence's white coworkers are fearful of hurting his feelings. And as much as they may think that protects him as a black man, like, you're black, I'm going to be careful, I don't want to offend you, I don't want to critique your idea, I'm just going to keep it cool, how about those sneakers, bro, those are fly. They're actually hurting him. They're actually omitting him from a space of development and improvement. If he's not being critiqued, if he's not being challenged, if he's not being pushed to grow, if we're just cradling him and babying him, you're actually being a detriment to his value, his knowledge, his contribution to the company, because you're leaving him out. So even though you think you're doing something good, you're actually being kind of harmful to Lawrence as a black man trying to enter and be great in that industry. Asterisk and note to white people. We're moving on. Let's go to Molly. Messy, messy, messy Molly. Girl, shit. We called this. And I'm not saying that like I wouldn't have did it because I would have did it. Okay? If y'all have been following me in these reviews, y'all know Molly is me. I would have did the same thing. What I would not have done is got my feelings involved. I don't know what she was expecting here. Let's just rewind and unravel. I'm jumping the gun. I'm going way too fast. So when we open up with Molly, she sees Dro calling. She's working late. And she's apprehensive on taking his call. It's like an eye roll. It's like, do I even do this? It's a super awkward conversation. This is the first time that she's talking to him since they had sex for the first time. And she's being fucking weird. She's being weird as shit. And she agrees to meet up with him again, and she gets off the phone. In this episode, she's ignoring her mom. She ignores her mom in the beginning, and she ignores her mom's call near the end of the episode. And I really want to see what this is about. I think she's critiquing her mom for not being a perfect woman, for being maybe weak, for being unforgiving, whilst forgiving an adulterer, which is her dad. She's holding this grudge against her mom, and I really want to understand what it is. Where's her anger coming from? What's that intent? What's the grudge you're holding against your mother for loving a man who hurt her? Whilst putting yourself in a position to be hurt by a man who's dedicated to someone else, like, you're just as flawed. See, this is a Virgo. This is what I'm talking about. This is a Virgo. Messy, doing a bunch of flawed shit, being human, going out making all the wrong decisions, but keeping that crooked eye at somebody else for making their wrong decision, judging, keeping them at a oh, you did bad, making up this whole like pedestal for ourselves. Meanwhile, we're just as messy as you, but we be over there judging you. So she's trying to once again find a friend in Issa, and I've said this plenty of times. Issa is so selfish. While Molly is confiding in her and giving her worries, her apprehensiveness, she's just confused and needs help. She needs an outside perspective. Issa is giving like these one word, short, inattentive answers, that whole like, you be alright. Oh really, you gonna do that? And then Issa just makes it about herself again. Oh, my car. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, you need to give me a ride. Oh, and you're gonna pay for food. Issa is a problematic fave. Like, she's not a good girlfriend. She's not a good friend. I'm really, in this whole scheme of things, she's a lead. We're trying to root for her, but it's hard to root for her. So being that Issa is not asking questions, she's not engaging, she's not going in depth. With Molly, she's just not helping Molly at all. Molly might as well be talking to the air. Molly flat out says it. she says this to Issa about Dro. No matter what, he's always there for me, and I just don't have a friend like that. That should have been bigger fucking news to Issa. Issa was a little offended, like, damn, bitch, I'm here. Like, sheesh. But Molly says it. Like, that's just how she feels in the heat of her emotions, in the heat of a moment. I don't have a friend like that. Dro he's always there for me, and I don't have any other friends like that. That includes you, Issa. And maybe it was like this subconscious thought for Molly to it just slipped out. She just said it. But that's what the fuck she felt. And Issa, it's very strange. Issa's response to that was kind of hardened because it was about herself. Damn, bitch, I'm here. Like, hello, me, I'm the friend. You should be describing me like that. And a real friend wouldn't have made it like that. What Issa, instead of saying, damn, bitch, I'm here, it should have been like, Molly, I'm here. I've always been here for you. I'm here for you. And it should have been about Molly. Issa can't and doesn't give that. So here we go with Molly cuddling up with Dro, spending weekends. She just lets herself dive in. Fuck it. This is weird. I don't get it, but I like it. You're my friend. We're already doing this. Let me stop fighting it. I'm going to dive in. So they get in the hotel and they spending weekends. And lo and behold, Dro leaves you naked and alone with your rubber dicky vibrator to go to his wife. And it hits you. See, this episode is all about taking L's. This is the biggest L. So you thought you were special, or you thought you had something special, and really hold that L. Did you think you'd be equal to his wife? Did you think he'd put his wife on hold for you? Did you think this meant more? Why would you cuddle a dick? And I called it. You were going to catch feelings. Molly cannot handle sex without benefits with such a close friend. Of course she was going to catch feelings. And she did. And then she was stuck on stupid like, listen, my wife is in trouble. I know you here naked and I was D'ing you down for a few hours, but she's priority. Egg on your face. Egg on your face. Dro's strokes were a tad better in this episode. He was giving the slow back, laying on the side. That was cute. I still think he needs work. I still don't think he's as good as it looks. There's something off about the strokes. Like the rhythm ain't right, or he's going in at a weird angle. I don't know. Don't know how Molly's going to handle that. She's feeling and looking crazy. She kept this whole Dro thing away from the other girls. They went to Sexplosion together, and only Issa knows about her and Dro. And I think it was just in case she didn't want the judgment. She knows it's weird. We know it's weird. I don't think she wants any more of the judgment. Virgos don't like that. Really want to pay attention to some details real quick. As a filmmaker, the creators and the producers and the director of Insecure make everything down to a T. They design everything, the lighting, the background, everything is with intent, which I really, really appreciate as a filmmaker. So while they're in the car shop, Molly and Issa, Molly is confiding in Issa. Molly starts to lie, or she tries to convince herself and tries to pretend that it's convincing for Issa, but she starts to lie and say, you know what, tonight's the night, I'm gonna go see Dro. I'm gonna just tell him, Leo, it was a one-time thing, I ain't doing this no more, I'm not really into it, and I'm gonna cut it off. It's gonna be a clean sweep, he's my friend, and that's it. All up until that point, the shots were very neutral, level-eyed, equal. We feel one with the characters. Then when Molly gets into that lie, the shot raises and we get Molly and Issa at the bottom of the screen, and we get a whole lot of headroom. That's the characters being off-centered. That's the characters being insecure. That's the characters not really being present, not really being there. Now, they gave a lot of headroom, and if you guys noticed, the wallpaper on the back of the mechanic was a lot of birds, a lot of woodland creatures, but mostly birds. So it really felt like Molly had her head in the clouds. Molly was being whimsical, lost, airheaded. Molly wasn't thinking clearly. It was a lot of empty space above her head. So I really appreciated that shot and what that was supposed to mean for the dialogue and the character and all of that. That was super, super, super important. All right, moving on to Issa. Issa, or what I'm calling her for this episode, Issa L. So this episode, Issa was absolutely the funniest for me. Like, she was the funniest I've seen her. She's been cracking me up between the freestyles, the comedic timing, her choices. I feel like she was doing a lot of improv. And I doubt that they shot Insecure chronologically, like according to episode. But I really feel like for some reason in this episode, she truly stepped into the gut of her funny. Like, she was real comfortable and sat in it. And I was cracking up at every single turn Issa did. She is so funny. So Issa been taking blows since last episode. She ain't been getting no dick. The car's busted. She been taking public transportation. It's been hella bad for my girl. Can we just pause for a second and talk about the fashion? How the fuck did Issa Rae get away with wearing a tee that says the FBI killed Fred Hampton on HBO? How? How did you sneak that in, you genius? Fred Hampton, one of the leaders of the original Black Panther Party, FBI, conspiracy. They conspired and murdered the leaders of the Black Panther Party to disenfranchise the movement and the group. And it worked. And I can't believe she wore a tee on HBO that said that. Wow. Wow, you bad bitch. Wow. So Issa tries to text Daniel to try to set up this booty call, and this is exactly what the fuck she gets for playing the shit out of him in the last episode. He left that girl on red, and it was so funny to see her face light up getting them text bubbles. Back to this face. You lost, babe. You lost. Trying to recoup from this little ego blow and from this dick depletion, she tries to reach Eddie again, which is her neighbor. How is she fucking with his head? Do y'all see the shape of this nigga's head? Is this really the choice, Issa? His head is crazy. His head is crazy. What's really the L here is not that he only has another girl inside already because you wanted to be cute and pop up unannounced like niggas ain't got shit to do. But the girl asked for the charger. If you guys remember from when she first hooked up with Eddie, she used her charger as an excuse to go see him so she can get inside. And the charger represented this cute little moment. He knew it wasn't his charger because that meant that he wanted her to come inside, and it was this cute little moment. She takes her charger back at the end of the night. But now she's coming back just on some regular tip for the D because I already know what it is. And the girl asked for the charger. And it changed the whole meaning of that cute little moment and the cute little object that represented something, that little connection between them two. Just to tell you, you ain't special. Hold that L. I want to go back to some more details here. Issa is so funny. She lets him slam the door in her face. There's no ego. There's no hiding. There's no let me get out of here and just make it. Let me get out of here. She stands there and accepts that L, and that door just closed in her face. And she, I can't with her. Issa, I am over you. I'm over you. That was so funny. If you guys notice another detail, Eddie got an eviction notice on the door. Eddie ain't gonna be there for much longer. Y'all better say bye now. Issa, get your last licks in because he's going away. So Issa, let me get something straight. You allowed yourself to get played and rejected by a double-decker headed brokey? You mad because he didn't give you no dick? You writing mad raps? You writing angry raps, hurt raps, embarrassed raps? For double-decker head? Baby, he did you a favor. Say thank you and keep it moving. Don't give him no more. Don't give him no more pussy. The shape of his head is crazy. Another detail. Background, lighting, everything means something. Issa's standing outside of Eddie's door. She's looking away. And if you guys look at her shadow on Eddie's door, there are bars. Now, if you guys ever seen the movie The Graduate, it's named one of the most perfect films because everything in that film means something, from the set design to the costumes to the dialogue to the character. Everything means something. And so usually when you see something like bars, it's supposed to represent a feeling of entrapment, isolation, being just closed in or needing a breakthrough, and her shadow is covered by bars. Obviously, it's light emitting through the set design of the community that she lives in at the dunes. But I don't think the Insecure creators made any mistakes. I think they intentionally get so many details squeezed into this show that those bars absolutely have to mean something. So when she's getting kicked down again, accepting another L, and that blue light hits behind her and her shadow's covered in bars, that absolutely tells something to the story. Definitely not a mistake. Her neighbor, who's the blood gang member, changes every C to B for his gang. Set. It's so funny. His T is supposed to say West Coast, but it says West Boast. He the one that made up the bouch, asking her if she going to Target to get some Bleenex and some Blorex bleach. Like, a running joke that will forever be funny. This joke is not going to get tired. Every time I see him, every time he changes everything to a B, it's going to be hilarious. And it looks like he made the B himself. Genius. So Daniel tries to be cool and texts Issa back hours later. Like, you're not low. This is when you had them text bubbles, so you saw the text come through, but you wasn't ready to respond yet. You did that real corny thing that a lot of people do. They're just like, I'm not texting now. I'm going to text them when I get later, and let them make them wait, make them feel like. So he finally hits Issa back all them hours later, but still cancels. Damn, you got a game like that, Daniel? You got a game like that? The thing about Issa, and I was touching on this when I was discussing Molly, is that she does not admit any of her flaws. It's always somebody else doing something. It ain't her, or somebody calls her to do something. She never admits her flaws. And we saw this in the last episode when she briefly calls her brother, and he was like, you just said all. Nigga, I did not say all. But you just said all. You can never admit when you're wrong. Shut up, nigga. And as soon as he said something that she didn't want to hear, or she received some critique, she got out of that space. She closed the door, she closed the ears, wasn't listening, and this is exactly what happens in this episode. Molly's like, okay, so these guys are playing you and sleeping with other people just the way you're doing. Why are you so mad when they're out there playing the field the way you're playing the field? Issa don't want none of that. Blinders. Issa don't want none of that. So Issa's hype. Her and her girls go to Sexplosion, which is great. You buy your vibrators. I love seeing Natasha Rothwell, as you guys know already. Amanda Seales doing an amazing job as Tiffany. And the girls get to talking about giving head. So we're getting real sexual this episode. I do partake in the act. And do I enjoy it? Do I love doing it? It's a duty. It's something that you have to do. You gotta suck dick. You gotta suck dick. So she wants to show Daniel what she learned at Sexplosion, and she goes down to see him, and then she literally goes down to see him. And as someone would do naturally when you get extra aroused, he has a Sexplosion right in her face. HBO, we showing cum shots now? HBO getting graphic? Issa Rae getting real graphic? Issa Rae is this Christian raised goody two shoes who actually never identified with the character Issa. Like, she doesn't go around saying nigga and cursing and being sexual. Like, she really holds on to her religion. As well as Yvonne Orji, who plays Molly, who is a 33-year-old virgin because she loves her God and she loves her religion. So the fact that these women are getting cum shots in the eye or fucking backwards or doing all this, really pushing the envelope. Issa, do you not know how to handle ejaculation? Do you not know to aim back? Shoot it in his eye. It's a dick. It's a joystick. Move it where you desire. So he popped in your face. Really, that's your fault. I don't understand why you're mad. That's just how it works. It's going to come out. She got in her eye. She took the biggest L. She took the last L. And she storms out. Shout out to Uber Pool. That wasn't low. It's a pool. She took that pool home because she is broke as fuck, and she just needs to get out of there. And she got an eye injury. She really needs to get it clean. You can get a bacterial infection. Sometimes it comes out hot and it hurts a little bit. You really just need a rinse and some rest. Shut it down. Shut it down. She really fucked up on Nico. She really fucked up there. He's sexy, he's mature, he's hot. And I understand she's just not ready, but damn. And it's so funny because she tweeted that was a real experience. She knew she was going too fast with an older man when he was like, baby, slow down. Like, we ain't got to do all this. I actually had quite the opposite experience. I tried to date a 49-year-old reverend when I was a mere 24 years old. And let's just say he really despised my celibacy. That's about it. Insecure is out here wilding. I'm waiting for Issa to stop being selfish. This whole phase is not going well. She doesn't have the control she thought she had. And she really just needs to shut it down. It's time. It's time. And the fact that her and Lawrence are moving on completely different timelines, and they're not both losing at the exact same time. I'm trying to see where they're going to go with this setup. How are they going to catch each other? How are they going to choose each other? How are they going to come back? And we need more Chad. I like scenes with Chad. We need more Chad. That's about it. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications. I will be right back here with new videos. You guys can head over to JustLatasha.com. You guys can head over to SitBlackAndRelax.com. That is the website to my comedy web series. Subscribe to all of my social media. And of course, it helps me so much when you guys share this video. So please give a thumbs up. Let me know about your thoughts on the latest episode of Insecure. And I'll be back next time, boos. See you later.